as someone who's broken the patterns of being myself, I know how hard it is. I know how it feels like to be completely unaware of your patterns, and how vulnerable it is when you start to realize the patterns that you don't really want to be a match with. And I know how completely weird it is when you don't even know that you can change and become a better version of yourself. 6 years ago, I started on a journey that I didn't know where it would take me to. I was stuck in my career. I thought only in my professional life, but I realized also in my personal life and how I do life. I was running my first business. I wanted to take my business to the very next level, but what I didn't realize, and mentors called out for me, was that in order for me to take my business to the next level, I had to change. They told me, you have to change if you want your business to change. I had absolutely no reference point what that meant. Deep down, I knew I was miserable in my life. I was apparently also lost how to take my life to the next level, because I just did life as everyone else in my circles. I was working hard. On the outside, I could tick all the boxes: the home, the car, the clothing, the vacation. But deep within, I was miserable. I was stuck. I was lost. And I asked myself this question several times: is this all there is to life? But I had no one to turn to. I had no one to ask and share. Excuse me, are you also stuck in your life? That's why I started on this personal journey, which first was helping me grow my business to actually where I am today. I've gone from being stuck in my thoughts to owning my thoughts. I've gone from believing everything that people would tell me to actually vetting what you're telling me right now. Does that set me up for success? Or you're only projecting your own fears? I went from doubting myself to owning myself. I went from not knowing what I'm really good at and do I have anything to gift other people, to be truly proud of what I do, what my passion is, how I help my clients succeed. I've gone from not knowing what I'm truly good at to having a project that is bigger than me, that's bigger than my ego, that gets me out of bed very early morning because I want to create value for other people and not just cashing in monthly or weekly paycheck. So I was ambitious, I was driven, but I was also running a program that I didn't know existed. And that program wasn't a program that set me up for more success. So I started reaching out to mentors and women who were ahead of me. I was saying, teach me how to do that. And I came to that first wall. All right, just breaking the habit of being yourself. But I didn't know what that meant. It took me years to really understand what it meant. At the start of my journey, almost 7 years ago, I was ticking all the external boxes, but none of the boxes when I didn't feel loved. I didn't love myself. I wasn't proud of myself. I was mentally drained. I would wake up with migraine, headache, and I ran on empty. And looking back, I realized I was just repeating the same thoughts over and over and over. And those same habits I have broken. I'm so glad that I've broken the habits of being myself, because otherwise I'm not sure how it would be a great mom today. But what scared me the most on this journey was that I didn't even know and understand that there was a different way to do life. I started to work with a mentor who introduced me to the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I would start to read the book, Breaking the Habit of Being Myself, and to be really honest, I didn't understand anything of that book. Also watched Dr. Joe Dispenza's program Rewire and Gaia. I can highly recommend that. That was so powerful, and suddenly a door opened for me, a new world opened for me about neuroscience, how we inherit our belief systems, and I did a video on that. I'm going to place a card at the end of the screen And that of understanding what it meant that we were born naked and actually you can choose a better feeling food, that was new stuff to me, but I found it so fascinating. Now I accepted the quest to actually start breaking the habit of being myself. And I thought that it was an easy peasy walk in the park to do that, but it wasn't. I had to admit that it would take me so much more effort and consistency and perseverance to actually break through to my next level, to break the habit of being myself. It also requires me to be truly vulnerable. Is it really how I showed up today? Am I truly proud of showing up like that? And if I'm not, what do I change? And that's where we're diving in on this video, the 3 keys, so that you can fast track your next level of success, next level of life. All this to say, you can break the habit of being yourself. I know how hard it is where you are right now, but let me tell you, there's a better and bigger version of you waiting for you on the other side of what you have to break through. And she is worth working for. And when you connect with her, your life will shift, that I guarantee. And suddenly you will find more freedom, be more at ease, you will enjoy life better, you will enjoy being a leader better, and suddenly you will also see your family, your kids shifting because you have tapped into a very different energy. You come from a place of ease, effortlessness, lightness, and just being totally proud of who you are. So in order to understand how to break through to your next level, the first thing you have to do is to start recognizing the patterns that you have. And for me, that was a very vulnerable exercise. And that exercise continue as you continue to level up. So the first key I invite you to practice is to pause. When you go to bed at night, reflect on how you showed up. Did you show up as the person you loved and admire and adored today? If you didn't, there's a green signal that you're ready to change. And there's some patterns that you want to change. Now you may say, but that was his fault, that was his fault, or that was she fault. Well, you have a choice to show up as that best version of yourself. So if you start to blame other people, then that's a pattern you want to be aware of. I've been there. So I say this for love. Until you're so aware that you are in control of your own life, most likely you will be blaming other people why you reacted. So step 1 is to be so aware how you showed up today. Now you want to pick one habit that you want to break and be so consistent with interrupting that pattern. For me, when I started on this quest, there was one person who in particular challenged me, and I said, I no longer want to react when this person say this, do something. That was my first assignment. And I invite you to pick one habit. Be so curious about your patterns, your default patterns, and will love, explore, and observe how do you show up. If you allow yourself to make internal critics or form your own opinions, be curious about that. Because most likely you would then be judging, you would come from maybe victimhood, and that is not a pattern that sets you up for more success. The pattern that sets you up for more success is that are coming from unconditionally loving, filled with overflow of time and energy, and just truly allow yourself to hold the space for other people. Be so curious about one pattern that you want to break or interrupt. You might not even think you're stuck. I have people reaching out to me and I said, I'm okay where I am. Well, that might be so, and then you're happy, and then you're not ready to break the habit of being yourself. But I want to ask you this question. If you say there's no habit you can change, is life as you wanted it to be? If you say yes, life is completely in abundance, overflow of time, I'm happy, I'm completely satisfied and fulfilled, that's amazing. But if you can't say that you are not completely fulfilled, not completely at ease, then what pattern do you want to break? Be curious about that one pattern and be so open and honest about yourself, because you are only breaking a pattern that no longer serves you. You're not doing it for me. You're actually doing it for your children. But the person who's going to benefit the most right now is you. And I guarantee that the moment you start breaking a pattern, you will see your surrounding, you will see your kids behave differently. Right now, you might even think that you're stuck. I get it, and I've been there. But let me ask you this question. Are you truly alive? Do you feel abundance? Do you sleep well? No migraine, no headache, no dodging, just being overflow of time and energy, and you're just everything just goes how you want it to go and feel completely fulfilled? If you cannot say yes to all of these situations, if you don't feel truly happy, fulfilled, and grateful, then be curious about one habit where you actually leak energy. I would start there. You're not doing it for me, but you're doing it for yourself. And if you have children, your children will also benefit tremendously from you breaking a habit of being yourself. And I guarantee, because I've done this for years, that you will feel more abundance, you will feel happier, you will feel light, and suddenly you will start to enjoy life more. You'll start to wanting to ask more cold questions, and life will just be a very, very different experience. Now imagine waking up and realizing that you don't live in your past, that you've broken the habit of being yourself. How does that feel? What do you do differently? How does your body feel? And how do you engage with your children? How do you engage with your partner? You're no longer in a loop. You create your future. You have a project that is bigger than you. People start to listen to you. People follow you. And you just overflow of joy and happiness. And you choose you. How does that make you feel? Not living in the past, not living in the behaviors and the habits that kept you stuck. That's where life feels effortless. That's why life is effortless. That's why it suddenly starts to be real fun also to do your life while being a leader. And that's how I continuously experience when I break habits of being myself. Every time I break a habit of being myself, I get to a different level of freedom, of relaxation, happiness, joy. And I want you to experience this as well. Now try this today. Notice one habit, interrupt that one habit, and choose something that works for you and not against you. And share with me how that experience was, how that exercise was, and where that left you when you interrupted a pattern that you've been running on autopilot, maybe for years. I didn't wake up one day and had all the answers to breaking the habit of being myself. I continue to break habits of being myself. And I tell you, it's so vulnerable to see, wow, this is me as well. But I no longer want to show up that way. I want to show up with a overflow of energy, overflow of love. I want to just allow myself to enjoy and no longer react to things, but truly just see what things are and the situation as what it is, without giving it a meaning that doesn't set me up for success. And I know you can too, but commit yourself to breaking the habit of being yourself and commit to monitoring how you're doing. The first step is to notice a pattern that doesn't set you up for success, that drains you, where you leak energy, and then choose to interrupt that pattern and then explore and observe what is flowing to you instead. What amazing new results you're going to achieve because you interrupted that pattern. and you see how people around you will respond. This is just the beginning. Over the next couple of videos, I'm gonna drop insights that have helped me breaking my patterns. I'm on an amazing quest yet again to level up, and I'm dropping videos to help you to take your life, your career, and who you are to the very next level. Because at the end of the day, we can break the habit of being ourselves. Yes, it's vulnerable, but boy, the results are so worth it. If you enjoyed this training, give it a like and subscribe to the channel, because it will help the channel grow. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to drop a comment of one of the habits you want to break, how it's been for you. And till next time, I love you so much.